What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a banger video. I'm going to be going over a few trades I took last week and showing you guys how I made $1,226 in 4 trading hours, right? It was across 2 trading days and yeah, both of those trades they were bangers and let's jump right into it. So we're starting on the Twitter like we normally do and I'm going to be going through both of the trade mini breakdowns, and then we're going to jump on to the charts, and I'm going to walk through the trades. So starting with the trade from February 7th. So for this day, we had no, we had clear skies for news context, right? So in the last video, I walked you guys through how I use Forex Factory to check the news, and that kind of sets up my trading day for, what I'm gonna look out for and how I'm gonna go about taking trades that day. So there were clear skies, and initially DXY opened up and took out London lows immediately. And then after it did that, we had a liquidity sweep with aggressive bullish push, showing that buyers are getting involved. And then we had a bearish break of structure on euro dollar, and we've seen some momentum. After that, there was a fair value gap, and price retested the OTE, and that's where we got in. That day, price was pretty choppy overall. However, we stuck to the plan and it ended up breaking through kind of near the afternoon and we got a nice win. It was about 2.2 R. So now if we go into the second trade, so on the 8th. So with this trade, we actually did have some news. We had unemployment claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So usually when there's a big news event like this, I kind of want to see what the market is going to do. I want to see how it reacts to that news event. And I want to be on the sidelines when there's like a whole bunch of volatility during that news event because it could go either way. So after the news dropped, we actually had a liquidity grab on DXY, taking out the highs with the news. And once DXY swept the liquidity, we then had a push to the downside that was pretty aggressive. That also had a break of structure. That bearish push left FVG on euro dollar, and price retested the OTE and then gave us an entry. This trade was a lot cleaner than the trade from the 7th, but overall same philosophy. We stuck to plan and we ended up getting a nice winner. It's about 2R, 2R and some change. So let's jump onto the chart. So I'm going to be first going over the trade from February 7th. Okay. So coming into the day, I like to mark out the lows and the highs. And this indicator does a really great job of doing that. Makes my job a lot easier. That's why I like it. So we have our low right there on euro and our high. As well. All right, so primarily I like to work off of the 5 minute time frame for entries. And even before we get into the day, we can see that we're kind of consolidating off the Asian session, and London session was pretty much sideways too. So overall, price is already looking kind of choppy. Uh, so now, so we fast forward, and this is where London lows are taken out on DXY. We have some movement. Now, if we go back here, see, okay. So right here, we had an aggressive push downward, and we left some gaps. So we left this fair value gap right here. And on dollar, we had an aggressive bullish move. So once it did that, pretty much I was looking for price to come back and retest this area. And I was looking for a position like this. Check these out. Going for about 2R. So right here we had price retest our area and actually tag us in. Um, kind of pull back also on DXY. And then after that, so I'm gonna put it on, I'm just gonna let it play so you guys can see what happens. So pretty much price kind of danced around. It came back up and retested that area, and then it eventually pushed down and completed the move right around 10:45. So we were able to get into this trade right around 9:05, and then we got out at about like 10:55 or so. Right, so about 2 hours for that first trade. So now if we fast forward to the next day, just gonna leave those on here. And I'll clean up the chart a little bit. I'll leave the profit and loss, but I'll take off the fib. Okay, I went a little too far. Okay, so now coming into February 8th, we have some new highs. Overnight, we had some liquidity grab and we had a big bullish push on the dollar, right? All right, so now coming into February 8th, we had some consolidation in Asian session, but we are trending pretty bullishly coming off of London session, right? So now we open up, right? We have the news, we have unemployment claims coming in at 8:30. So I'm just gonna mark that off for you guys to see. So right at 8:30, we have a huge push to the upside. And this push takes out liquidity pool sitting up here, and it reacts off of that. Now, just because we have a reaction up here does not mean the market is necessarily going to follow through and reverse. It really can still do anything at this point. So we continue to watch the market and see what happens, and then we try to react and position ourselves to place a trade that's going to be flowing with the direction of the market. So right now, price is kind of pulling back, and we eventually have this break of structure here. So right around here, we have this break of structure, and we have a pretty aggressive move. Now on the 5 minute, it is a bit choppy. So with this trade, actually, I ended up going up a time frame to see price a little bit more clearly. And once you come up on the 15 minute, right, we can see this clear break of structure, and we can also see really tightly nestled in here, we have a nice fair value gap right in here. Now we have this fair value gap, and we have our OTE sitting in there as well. So once I saw that, I was looking to take some longs in here, target up here, swing position target up here. Um, so now we're just gonna press play and see what happens. Oops. So price right away kind of comes down, and it tags us in. Um, if I go back to my tweet, let me see. Yeah. So it tags us in right here, and then it follows through pretty cleanly. And it ends up hitting take profit. So yeah, those are pretty much the two trade breakdowns from last week. Both were about 2.2 R, and they netted me about $1,226. So hope you guys took some value away from this, and hope you guys can apply some of these principles. And yeah, on to the next week. Let's see what happens. Peace.